Hello everyone. We start with Germany's victory against Northern Ireland last night, a real relief after the opening defeat to Slovakia. In the Spanish press, it is noted that Florian Wirtz, scorer of Germany's third goal, spared the Mannschaft from embarrassment, while in the German press the criticism remains strong. Nagelsmann still has work to do despite the narrow win, and in Bild there is even speculation about whether Manuel Neuer should return to the national team to embody that leadership role with a special aura that the squad is currently lacking. If Germany did not really reassure, in Spain we witnessed a true masterclass, but it is Nico Williams' injury that makes the front page of Mundo Deportivo in its Basque Country edition. The Bilbao winger went off shortly before halftime with a muscle injury, the only dark spot in an otherwise magical evening. With this impressive victory, Spain is frightening everyone according to Marca and is now firmly positioned as the favourite nation for the 2026 World Cup. The squad is deep, with undeniable talent in every position, blending experience and youth. Once again, Lamine Yamal acted as the conductor, providing 2 assists last night. Spain has everything it takes to dominate and plenty of reasons to get excited. Marca asks the question, which team is better, the one from 2010 or the current squad? It's a bold comparison with what is considered the most dominant national team in history in Madrid. As the return of La Liga approaches, attention shifts to Real Madrid, with the search for the winning streak that can challenge them. Indeed, since the 2021-2022 season, Los Merengues have not won 10 matches in a row across all competitions, and after their perfect start to the league, why couldn't Xabi Alonso's side achieve it this time? For that, they could count on a highly motivated Mbappé. Real Madrid are also in search of the perfect defense, with 2 clear targets for the future, Ibrahima Konate and Johan Martinez. After spending $114 million on the transfer market to strengthen their squad this summer, Real Madrid now want to save money by bringing in the Frenchman on a free transfer and promoting the second player, who was developed at the club and is currently with Castilla. In defense, David Alaba has also made it clear he wants to remain at Real, despite being pushed toward the exit this summer. On the sidelines of Austria's match last Saturday, the defender confirmed that he feels good and ready to fight for his place in the Merengues squad. Another hot topic at Real Madrid is the contract extension of Vinícius Junior, which remains at a standstill. As Sport highlights, it's a standoff. Both sides are holding their positions for now, and the Brazilians camp, aware of the club's tight financial leeway, is prepared to be patient, both to enhance the player's status and to use the situation as leverage to put pressure on the club. From Madrid, with a possible free departure in the summer of 2027. The player for his part still wants to be the highest paid member of the squad, and there is no doubt that suitors from the Gulf will look to take advantage of the situation. Moving on to Italy, where there is mounting anxiety ahead of tonight's match against Israel at 8:45 p.m. For Corriere dello Sport, this game means everything. It's an Italy that wants to reconnect with its fans, as the Italian Daily points out in its inside pages. After the thrashing of Estonia, they now need to confirm their form, and for that, Gattuso can count on 2 key duos. First, the partnership of Sandro Tonali and Nicolo Barella in midfield, the team's centre of gravity according to Gazzetta dello Sport. The Newcastle midfielder also added that they will be 11 warriors on the pitch, a reference to the desire and legendary grit of the former Milan player, now coach of the Squadra Azzurra. And while much has been said about the Retegui-Keane attacking duo, the Pink Pages Daily also focuses on the central defensive pairing of Calafiori and Bastoni, a central pairing leading a revolution of modernity and dynamism, compared to the most iconic central defense duos in the Squadra Azzurra. That's no small claim. Baresi, Costacurta, Cannavaro, Nesta. Could Italy have found its new defensive solidity? A quick note on Serie A. The return of a legend is taking shape, as Lorenzo Insigne could join Lazio in January and reunite with his former Napoli coach, Maurizio Sarri. We get straight to the heart of the matter for Corriere dello Sport. Currently in MLS, the player could well make a return to Turin to finish his career. In England, preparations are also underway for the next match of the Three Lions, now following a clear roadmap to glory, as Mirror Sport highlights on its front page. Thomas Tuchel's team is suffering from an identity crisis, according to the Daily Express. What is Tuchel's stamp on this team, wonders the English press. In fact, the British dailies are reporting a return to roots and the very direct tactics typical of 20th century English football. Long balls up front, the importance of set pieces, long throw-ins, and high-level aerial play, adds the Daily Star, which humorously also references Tony Pulis's instruction manual, the legendary Stoke City coach whose team was closely associated with this old-school style of play. In this squad, 2 players have a lot at stake, Marcus Rashford and Eberechi. The former faced criticism after his recent Golden Boot match, with Thomas Tuchel not hesitating to assert that he still needs to deliver a strong performance at the international level. A now or never performance, as the Manchester Evening News puts it. Easy? No one said it would be, adds Mirror Sport. Playing on the name of Arsenal's new player, the 27-year-old winger must digest a complicated summer and his transfer to his boyhood club while establishing himself in a position where his main competition is none other than Marcus Rashford. At Manchester City, there are also questions about the team's over-reliance on Erling Haaland. The Manchester Evening News highlights that 3 of the 5 league goals have been scored by the Norwegian. According to the Daily, players like Savinho and Doku need to raise their level of play to avoid relying too heavily on the form of the former Dortmund star. Finally, in the Daily Star, attention turns to Nicholas Jackson's arrival at Bayern and the saga that followed, revealing a staggering clause required to finalise the Chelsea forward's permanent move to the Bavarian club. Indeed, for the loan to become a permanent transfer, the striker must start at least 40 times this season to automatically trigger the deal, a very high figure given the competition for his position, none other than Harry Kane. There is no question of the player returning to London, so it will come down to his determination to earn his place and shape his own destiny. In Portugal, where attention turns to Sporting's next captain, who is set to be Francisco Trincão, the captain of the future, according to Ebola. Permanently signed by the Lisbon club this summer, the winger is already the favourite to take over the role of Morten Ullmann, who is set to leave the club next summer. In the Portuguese press, attention is also drawn to the tragedy affecting Sarkov, the Ukrainian player belonging to Benfica Lisbon, whose home in Ukraine was destroyed by drone attacks. Destruction, reads the front page of Record. A devastating attack, adds the paper inside. The good news, however, is that the player's wife, daughter and mother all emerged unharmed, though the images are striking. The Daily revisits a past encounter between the two countries, which is remembered fondly, the draw on the final day of the Euro 2016 group stage. In that match, Portugal fell behind twice before securing the draw, clinching qualification, and setting themselves on the path to the title. In France, PSG are still struggling to digest the situation surrounding Ousmane Dembélé. Paris is not letting up on the pressure. We can read in the inside pages of L'Équipe this morning. The Parisian club has renewed its criticism of the French national team staff, who defended their decision to field the 2025 Ballon d'Or favourite against Ukraine. Both sides are standing firm, leaving the situation at a real impasse. In any case, one player who could benefit from this absence is Bradley Barcola. Barcola more than ever in the spotlight. Headlines Le Parisien this morning. The former Lion player, already a starter against Ukraine, could see even more responsibility with Les Bleus and at PSG. On the development side, there are expectations of significant playing time for Marn Akliouche against Iceland on Tuesday evening. The Shockwave titles the regional daily. The Monaco midfielder indeed has the dynamic profile, dribbling and destabilizing defenses that the French team needs. So perhaps we will see him feature with the combined absences of Désiré Doué and Ousmane Dembélé. As for the French national team, it's not all bad news. On the contrary, this morning the paper takes stock of three key duos in blue, starting with the loss of midfielder Tchouaméni, who impressed against Ukraine. Already a deadly weapon, headlines the French daily. Indeed, this area of the pitch has been particularly difficult to rebuild since the end of the Pogba-Kanté era, but Didier Deschamps seems to have found a hard-working pair, yet capable of moments of genius, as seen with the assist from Madrid to Mbappé for France's second goal on Friday. Another duo showing promise is Mike Maignan and Lucas Chevalier, whose partnership is going well despite Chevalier's new status following his transfer to PSG. Among the goalkeepers, it's clear that the hierarchy is not being questioned at all. The Milan-based keeper is delivering excellent performances with Les Bleus, and just like the relationship between Hugo Lloris and Steve Mandanda in the past, there is a strong understanding between the two top-level goalkeepers, both capable of vying for the #1 spot. Finally, for the Hernandez brother duo, there is much less certainty in their play, but their status remains intact for players whose focus is on the Americas. The 2026 World Cup is in their sights, and both brothers had a tumultuous summer. Transfer rumours surrounding Lucas, who ultimately stayed at PSG, and Theo's move to Saudi Arabia. Once undisputed starters for the French national team, the two players must now fight for their place despite a shallow pool at left-back or left centre-back. In French news, Le Parisien covers the confirmed departure of Presnel Kimpembe to Qatar, calling it the departure of a legend on the front page. At the club since he was 8, the central defender, the most successful TT graduate at PSG, leaves after winning 27 titles, but also enduring many injuries in recent seasons. Well done, Presco, the paper notes. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.